right, folks, now it's time to talk about AEW Dynamite, all modern day wrestling. AEW Dynamite. All right, guys, Rodney, did you watch Dynamite?
What network is that on?
I'm not for sure. Is it
For now, TNT.
It is still on TNT. I wasn't for sure.
What station is that?
The show started out with CM Punk and an interview with MJF. All right. Everybody's giving it praises. It's hard for me to praise something that it was all WWE references during the whole interview. How can you distinguish yourself different from WWE if all you're doing is using WWE references? And it's all inside stuff. The only people who know it are the people. So you don't have any casual wrestling. They don't know what you're talking about because they hadn't been watching it, so they don't know what it means. The people got with it. The ones that sitting in that building, they respond to it. But as we always said, it's not the people in the building that you're going to have to worry about. It's going to be eventually when those 900,000 drop down to 500,000 because they don't even know what they're talking about. Not everybody sits on the internet and reads all the dirt. Not everybody does it, so they don't understand it. So it doesn't get over to them because they don't know what it means.
It's amazing. AEW, the only way they can get any kind of publicity whatsoever if it mentions WWE. That's the only time they get it. There's not really a match that that media picks up on and say, "Oh, well, this is a great match." I haven't seen one so far. I haven't seen one star yet that they can focus on and say, "Well, without WWF reference or WWE reference, that anybody pays any attention."
I mean, they did it.
But that is their going to be their downfall, because when you're unable to produce your own stuff and you have to depend on knocking WWE or talking about WWE, making references,
they don't even knock.
You're not going to make it. You're not going to go to that next level. You got to be focusing when you've got attention of the media. You need to be focused on your product, not somebody else's.
Well, the thing is, they both did a great job. I'm not discrediting what good job they did in the segment.
Right.
But I do say you've got to quit references WWE. They referenced even The Miz in this thing. Why would you do that? What purpose does that serve but make people want to see The Miz? Makes no sense to me. Jack, what did you think about it?
I saw this, and we rail about Seth Rollins doing 15-minute interviews, and I think Punk and MJF had this like hold my beer because we're going 22 minutes, and that's what they did, 22 minutes. And I agree with everything that y'all said. And the funniest part was they got the little pops from it like they were looking for. But the biggest pop that I heard was when Edge referenced their reference on Raw Monday night, where he was talking to the Miz and said, you're living in their head rent free.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to call any names.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I agree. If they don't concentrate on their product and get WWE out of their minds. Even Miro, who I love Miro. I think he's fantastic. But he made a statement the other day that he was tired of being referred to as an ex-WWE wrestler. Well, hey, if you don't want to be referred to as an ex-WWE wrestler, you shouldn't have went.
Yeah.
Because that is the pinnacle right now, whether you like it or not. That's what people recognize you from. AEW wouldn't have pushed him if he didn't have that WWE background before him.
Yeah.
That's just the way. That's just the simple truth.
You've just hit the nail on the head. I mean, if you do not have a WWE, Mr. Khan you don't have his attention. You do not have his attention.
CM Punk then went against QT Marshall. It was a decent match. It wasn't a spectacular match. CM Punk won that match. And then the Gun Club, which I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you, old Mr. Gunn there, he is in shape. And he's got to be 50 years old or older. Am I correct about this?
Billy Gunn.
Billy Gunn.
Yep.
He looked tremendous.
Yep.
Went against Bear Country. Have no clue who that is. Sting and Darby Allin came out. I still I don't know why they came out. Did something happen I didn't know?
They're setting up a storyline with Darby Allin and Billy Gunn.
All right. What? Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I certainly hope they don't have them wrestle each other because that man is huge. And oh no, that's not
somebody just said Billy Gunn is a giant in AEW, and he really is. He's so much bigger than everybody else.
Oh, he is. Then they had the TBS Championship Tournament quarterfinals match. Thunder Rosa against Jamie Hayter. I kind of enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
I think Thunder Rosa is one of the best women in the business today.
Yeah, I think that I enjoyed the match. I wish all these people would quit going outside the ring though. For goodness gracious, stay in the ring. Figure out some stuff to do inside the ring. Colt Cabana then went against Bryan Danielson.
They can turn into Vince's show then. They might be able to figure out what they can do outside the ring, maybe something new. Okay, never mind.
Colt Cabana went against Bryan Danielson. I loved the match. Thought it was a great match.
Yeah.
But again, folks, you just did CM Punk and MJF and did turn back around and did the same exact thing with Bryan Danielson. And they did a great job. It was spectacular, but it was just done at the beginning of the show. They did the same exact thing. Am I wrong here, Jack? Did you see this?
I saw it. The ongoing story with that is that he's Danielson is now a heel, even though he cuts interviews and says he's not a heel. He is a heel, and he is one by one taking out the Dark Order. And yes,
I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one. And here's the thing. There's a lot of good talent in that Dark Order, but they just seem to mostly use them for a comedy effect, which I think is sad because they get a great reaction. Why aren't you pushing those guys?
Yeah. I thought it was a magnificent segment, but I thought you just done something similar at the beginning.
Yep.
And you might wanted to wait to Dynamite or something. Not Dynamite. What's the other one to do? Rampage, maybe to do this thing. So you wouldn't doing the same thing. And now get you again. Who's the two big stars? WWE wrestlers: Bryan Danielson, CM Punk. And people can say whatever they want to. The fan base he's got is from WWE. It is not from anywhere. It certainly ain't from the UFC. It certainly ain't from that. He got beat. I think he only went once. He got beat up one time, and he said, "Well, I don't think I'll do this anymore. This ain't like the WWE." And then they had a 22-man tag team match. They had Cody Rhodes in the Death Triangle. I don't know, against Andrade, Malachi, and FTR. I enjoyed the match. They did way too much in the match, but I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. But way too much stuff. What are they going to do next week? I mean, if you give everybody,
if you're watching WWE Raw
on the exact day of that he got shot, well, you just messed up the whole thing.
Well, I mean, if you're watching WWE Raw, you just have the same match every week.
That's true. This is true. They had a good match, though. I enjoyed the match. I was entertained by it. I wouldn't have a match like that, but it was enjoyable. I give this, though, I will give this show a 5. I thought it was better than WWE. I thought it was a better produced show. I thought it was more entertaining. Jack, what do you think? You've seen it. Rodney didn't see it.
Oh, I agree. I thought the matches were better. I thought the storytelling was a little bit better. My one takeaway is that the thing most people were talking about on the internet the next day didn't even involve the matches per se. It was Cody Rhodes throwing his belt out to the audience and the audience throwing it back.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I would give it a 5 also.
I think they produce a better television program. Out of all the shows that I watched, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, I give AEW the number one spot.